Have you ever wondered why some people effortlessly pull others toward them, almost as if they hold an invisible magnet over hearts and minds? Why is it that some relationships ignite instantly, while others fade away without a trace? If you've ever felt invisible to someone you desired, or confused by why someone seems to manipulate your emotions without even trying, then this video is for you. Before we dive deep, make sure you hit that subscribe button for Shadow Psyche and give this video a like. Trust me, watching this video till the end could completely change the way you approach love, attraction, and connection. You might start seeing the subtle forces at play in your relationships, the hidden psychology that most people completely overlook. Today we're going to explore the dark yet fascinating world of attraction through a Machiavellian lens. I'm not talking about manipulation for selfish gain, but understanding the unspoken patterns of human desire. By the end of this video, you'll see love not just as a feeling, but as a subtle game of influence, charm, and understanding the human heart. Think for a moment. Who do you find irresistible and why? Have you ever replayed moments in your head, wondering if you could have said or done something differently to make someone notice you or to feel closer to you? That's exactly what we're uncovering here. Every point we discuss will feel personal, as if it's reflecting your own experiences, your own love story. So stay with me, and I promise you'll leave this video with a sharper awareness of attraction, a deeper understanding of emotional influence, and maybe even a few realizations about yourself you never expected. With that said, let's jump straight into the first principle of Machiavellian Dark Psychology and Attraction. Point 1. The art of subtle influence. Imagine someone you've always admired, someone whose attention you secretly crave. Now imagine that instead of overwhelming them with obvious desire, you subtly guide their feelings, actions, and decisions without them even realizing it. This is not trickery. It's understanding human psychology in its rawest form. Machiavelli wrote extensively about power, control, and influence, and while he applied it to politics, these same principles quietly shape the way attraction works. The key lies in subtlety. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel safe, admired, and understood, but even more, they are drawn to mystery and unpredictability. Have you ever noticed how someone suddenly becomes more interesting when they don't immediately give you all their attention? That's the power of restraint, the art of making someone invest emotionally in your presence. Ask yourself, in your past relationships, were there moments when someone seemed distant and suddenly you felt a stronger pull toward them? Or perhaps when you withdrew slightly, they began to notice you more. These aren't coincidences, they're psychological nudges in action. Machiavelli would call this strategic positioning. And in love, it translates to creating moments that make someone feel both valued and intrigued. It's important, though, to reflect. Are you using this knowledge to genuinely connect or to control? The difference is subtle but crucial. True attraction thrives on respect and emotional resonance. Think back to your most meaningful connections. Were they built on manipulation or on a magnetic alignment of understanding and mutual intrigue? By observing subtle cues, mastering restraint, and intentionally cultivating your presence, you create a gravitational pull that's nearly irresistible. Every smile, every thoughtful word, every moment of attentive listening is a signal that speaks louder than grand gestures. This isn't about being fake, it's about amplifying the best parts of yourself in a way that naturally draws others in. So reflect. How could you become more magnetic in your own relationships? What small adjustments in attention, presence, or communication could deepen someone's attraction toward you? Think of it as a dance. You lead gently, not forcefully, and the emotional connection strengthens naturally. Point 2. The power of strategic scarcity. Have you ever noticed that the more someone is available, the less you seem to value them? And the rarer they are, the more you crave their attention? Machiavelli understood this principle in politics, but in love it works just as powerfully. This is the art of strategic scarcity, the subtle act of being present, yet not too predictable. Think of a past crush or relationship. Was there someone who seemed just out of reach? Whose messages you waited for eagerly? Whose attention you cherished because it wasn't guaranteed? That tension, the push and pull, is not random. It's human nature to assign more value to what seems rare or elusive. Reflect for a moment in your own love experiences. When did you feel that emotional pull? When did waiting for someone's attention make it feel more meaningful? Machiavelli would say that people naturally desire what requires effort, what isn't simply handed to them. This doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It's about understanding emotional dynamics and being intentional with your presence. Here's the twist. Scarcity works best when combined with authenticity. If you simply ignore someone or act distant artificially, it can backfire. But when you allow your life, your passions, and your emotional independence to shine, scarcity becomes a natural consequence. You are living fully, and your presence becomes magnetic because it's earned, not forced. Ask yourself, are you fully available to others? Or do they truly feel your depth and value? Are you giving attention too easily? Or are you holding space that naturally draws them in? Think of your past relationships. Were there moments where stepping back allowed someone to step closer? Or where your own independence made you more attractive without a single word? By embracing strategic scarcity, you're not playing games. You're simply understanding the rhythm of attraction. You're creating an environment where your presence is cherished, where your value is clear, and where emotional investment grows naturally. This is Machiavelli's influence applied to the heart. Subtle, powerful, and profoundly human. Point 3. The psychology of emotional mirrors. Imagine someone who always seems to understand you without explanation. They reflect your thoughts, echo your emotions, and anticipate your desires. That feeling of deep connection? That's the power of emotional mirroring, a psychological principle that Machiavelli would recognize as a way to subtly guide behavior and attraction. People are irresistibly drawn to those who make them feel understood. Ask yourself, in your own relationships, who made you feel truly seen? Who responded to your mood, your laughter, or even your silence in a way that made you feel connected? That's no accident. It's the natural effect of mirroring emotions. Machiavelli wrote about influence in human behavior, about leading others without them realizing it. In love, emotional mirroring is that quiet influence. By listening attentively, matching emotional tone, and responding in ways that resonate with the other person's feelings, you create a subtle bond. You become someone they associate with comfort, understanding, and desire. Consider your memories. Were there moments where someone seemed to get you without you explaining anything? That is the exact magic we're talking about. But the key is authenticity. Mirroring is not mimicry, it's empathy. It's about tuning into someone's emotional wavelength and responding thoughtfully. Reflect. Are you cultivating moments where your partner or crush feels truly understood? Or are interactions more surface level, lacking emotional depth? Think about your love story. How could a subtle awareness of emotions have transformed certain interactions? When you master emotional mirroring, attraction grows naturally. People feel safe, seen, and connected, and your presence becomes indispensable. It's not manipulation, it's alignment. The deeper the resonance, the stronger the pull. By understanding this Machiavellian insight applied to the heart, you transform ordinary interactions into emotionally charged connections that feel fated. Point 4. Strategic vulnerability. We often think that showing strength is the key to attraction, but Machiavelli teaches us the opposite in subtle ways. Strategic vulnerability creates a deeper magnetic connection. When you reveal small truths about yourself, your fears, your imperfections, your moments of doubt, you invite others into your inner world. And once someone sees that realness, their emotional investment skyrockets. Think about your past relationships. Were there moments when opening up brought someone closer, even more than grand gestures ever could? That is strategic vulnerability at work. It's not about oversharing, but selectively revealing parts of yourself that encourage empathy and emotional resonance. Ask yourself, how often do you let your guard down in love? When did you hold back, fearing judgment or rejection, only to realize that openness could have deepened the connection? Machiavelli's principles remind us that true influence isn't brute force, it's the delicate art of balance. Strength is magnetic, but so is authenticity and emotional honesty. The most compelling people aren't flawless, they are real. They show glimpses of struggle, laughter at their own mistakes, or even quiet reflection. Each of these moments draws others in, making them feel a part of your story. Imagine someone noticing your vulnerability, not as weakness but as a sign of depth, and suddenly feeling a bond they can't explain. That is strategic vulnerability in action. Reflect in your love journey. When did a moment of openness lead to a deeper connection? Could you have shared a thought or feeling that would have made someone see your true value? How might your relationships transform if you allowed small, intentional glimpses into your inner world? By mastering strategic vulnerability, you transform attraction from superficial charm into profound connection. It's subtle, it's personal, and it creates bonds that linger in the heart long after interactions end. Point 5. The power of mystery. Have you ever felt drawn to someone whose thoughts you couldn't fully predict? Whose intentions remain slightly hidden? That magnetic pull isn't just chance, it's the power of mystery. A concept Machiavelli instinctively understood. People are naturally curious, and curiosity and attraction is a force you can cultivate intentionally. Think about your past crushes. Was there someone you couldn't quite figure out? Someone whose subtle actions kept you thinking about them long after they left. That feeling, thinking about them, analyzing small gestures, is the psychological spark of attraction. When you reveal yourself too quickly or too fully, you extinguish this spark. But when you leave glimpses of yourself, your thoughts, your stories, your humor, people feel compelled to come closer, to unravel your layers. Ask yourself, in your love life, have you ever been intrigued by someone just because they were unpredictable? Or conversely, have you ever felt someone lost interest because you revealed too much too soon? Mystery isn't manipulation, it's a natural invitation. It's creating moments where the other person wants to engage, to invest emotionally, because they sense there's more to discover. Reflect. How much of your own self have you allowed to remain mysterious? Could holding back certain thoughts, sharing selective stories, or showing glimpses of your passions make someone invest more deeply in you emotionally? Think about your most captivating experiences. In love, weren't they always with someone who wasn't entirely predictable? The key here is balance. Too much mystery can frustrate or confuse, but the right amount deepens attraction. By understanding this Machiavellian principle, you're not playing games. You're creating a space where emotional investment grows naturally. People will be drawn to your presence, compelled by curiosity, and more likely to remember every interaction with you long after it ends. Point 6. The art of emotional tension. Have you ever felt that electric charge when emotions are high? Love, frustration, longing, desire, sometimes all at once? That is emotional tension, and it's one of the most powerful yet overlooked forces in attraction. Machiavelli understood that human behavior is driven by emotional peaks and valleys. And in love, you can use this knowledge ethically to deepen bonds. Think about your relationships. Were there moments when a subtle disagreement, a playful tease, or an unexpected compliment made your heart race? That emotional push and pull creates a resonance that is unforgettable. People remember moments that stir deep feelings, and attraction thrives in these moments of intensity. Ask yourself, when was the last time someone left you thinking about them hours later? Or when did you realize a small, intense emotional moment changed how you felt about someone forever? That's the art of emotional tension. It's not about drama, it's about meaningful moments that create lasting impressions. Reflect on your love life. Could you have cultivated more emotional depth by varying intensity, showing vulnerability, or creating playful tension? How many connections faded because interactions were predictable, comfortable, and devoid of emotional peaks? Emotional tension keeps attraction alive. It transforms ordinary encounters into moments that linger in the heart and mind. Machiavelli would say influence is about creating patterns people feel compelled to follow. In relationships, these patterns are emotional. When mastered, emotional tension ensures that people think of you, feel your presence even in your absence, and remain emotionally invested. Point 7. The magnetic pull of self-mastery. Attraction isn't just about what you do to others. It's about who you are at your core. Machiavelli repeatedly emphasized the power of self-mastery, and in relationships, this principle is transformative. People are naturally drawn to those who embody control over their emotions, their desires, and their actions. Think about the people you admire most. Aren't they confident, composed, and fully present, even in challenging situations? That stability, that quiet strength is magnetic. It signals emotional intelligence, maturity, and reliability, all traits that deepen attraction and forge lasting bonds. Ask yourself, in your own love story, how often did emotional instability or indecision push someone away? Conversely, when did your calm, confident presence make someone lean in, eager to share their thoughts and feelings? Self-mastery isn't about perfection, it's about balance. It's about being grounded in yourself, which allows others to feel safe, inspired, and drawn to you naturally. Reflect. What areas of your life could you master more fully, emotionally, mentally, or even socially? How might becoming more self-aware and intentional in your behavior amplify your attraction and deepen your relationships? The more you embody control and inner strength, the more you create an invisible, gravitational pull that draws people toward you effortlessly. By mastering your own emotions, reactions, and presence, you no longer chase others. You allow them to be drawn to you. This isn't manipulation. It's authenticity amplified through intentionality. Machiavelli's teachings remind us that influence begins within. When you are grounded, composed, and self-aware, attraction becomes a natural byproduct. Final thoughts. So there you have it, the hidden psychology of attraction through a Machiavellian lens. From subtle influence and strategic scarcity to emotional mirroring, vulnerability, mystery, tension, and self-mastery. These principles reveal the deep currents shaping every relationship you experience. Reflect on your own love life. Which of these principles have already guided your relationships, knowingly or unknowingly? Which areas could transform your future connections if applied consciously? If this video gave you insight, make sure to subscribe to Shadow Psyche and hit that like button. Share it with someone you think could benefit from understanding the hidden forces of attraction. Watch the full video carefully, because applying even a few of these strategies could change the way people experience you forever. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.